Hi there, this is Harry and welcome back to Advanced English Lessons with Harry. So in this particular lesson, this Advanced English lesson, we're looking at other ways to say new. I'm going back to the old-fashioned way. We've got 10 in our list, okay? So I'll go through the 10 and then I'll go back and give you examples, situations when hopefully you can use them. So the first way to say new is latest. The latest edition of Microsoft is Windows 11. That's the latest. So it's not completely new, it's just the latest. The latest update will come through, and if you're using Skype, you'll get a little message to say there's an upgrade. That's the latest, the most recent, okay? The latest edition of this book was only printed 3 months ago, so that's a new edition. So a new edition of the Oxford English Dictionary might be printed every year to take into account the extra 10 or 15 or 20 words that they typically add to the English language every year. So latest. Fresh. Well, something new, fresh could be fresh deliveries to the vegetable department in the supermarket. Fresh vegetables, what we love to love to cook with, the nice smell and the crisp taste. Fresh. Or there's fresh bread has just been delivered and you can get the smell of the baked bread just out of the oven when you walk past the bread counter or you walk past the boulangerie or patisserie, depending where you happen to be. Okay, so that fresh, the newness of the bread. You can touch it, squeeze it, feel it, smell it. Okay, really, really new and fresh. Innovative. Well, that's definitely new. When something is innovative, it is something very different, unusual, something that somebody hasn't thought of before, an innovative way to direct the traffic from around the village. So instead of going through the village or instead of going on the motorway, there's an innovative way of taking a roundabout route that avoids going through the village. So that's innovative. Or an innovative way of giving people vaccinations. Okay, so instead of putting needles or sticking needles into your arm, perhaps there's an innovative way to make sure that you get your vaccination. And it might be something you ingest, something you taste, or spray in the nose. That might be an innovative way to vaccinate people, particularly for those people who don't like needles. Original. We often hear this expression, there's no such thing as an original idea. Well, of course there are, otherwise we wouldn't have the mobile phone, and we wouldn't have the internet, and we wouldn't have our laptops. So there are innovative and new ideas and original ideas. And an original idea is something that somebody else hasn't thought of. So you might hear people talking about something in the pub or in the restaurant, and you go, oh wow, that's an original idea. That's really, really good. That's very, very smart. So an original, new idea, a different way to do something. Because a lot of ideas and suggestions are very much the same as others, a slight little tweak here and a tweak there. But when something is original, somebody goes, oh, wow, that's smart, that's clever, that is original. Novel. Well, a novel can be a book, of course, but a novel idea is something different, something unusual, something quite strange. Novel. So somebody might have suggested a way of getting to town. So, for example, if you're used to taking the car, yeah, you have to park, it becomes expensive. Or you hop on the metro, well, that's okay, but it might be jam-packed or it might be on strike. But a novel way to get to town might be to get one of these electric scooters. Now, that would be novel because you can travel. It's not going to tire out because it's got a battery. And then when you get to the city centre, you just fold it up, stick it under your arm, and off you go. You can carry it with you, so it's always there when you need it. So that would be considered to be a novel way to get from A to B. I would ask you if you really like this lesson, please like the video, and if you can, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it because it really, really helps. Pioneering. Well, pioneering usually refers to the first people to do something, the pioneers. Loved reading history books about how the pioneers found the trail to California to look for gold. So when you read the American novels, when these people left on their wagon trains from Boston or somewhere in the east, and they went on the Oregon Trail, and they found their way into the Rockies, and there they started prospecting for gold. So that was pioneering. That was the new way to go, the new world to be discovered, the west coast of America, full of promise, but also full of very long, detailed problems with the Native American Indians. So lots of issues there, but pioneering the new way to do something really the first people. Okay, pioneering. Next, number 7, state of the art. Well, when something is state of the art, it means it's absolutely very, very new. Nobody else has it. So when the first mobile phone was produced, it was state of the art. So when somebody got their first call or first message, state of the art. So then we went on to the iPhones, and when the first iPhone was introduced, state of the art. The use of Skype or other platforms for talking to each other, state of the art. Something very, very different, very, very new, something that hasn't been seen before, state of the art. Groundbreaking. We often use groundbreaking, particularly when we're talking about medicine or some invention that is going to help save lives. So groundbreaking discovery in the treatment of some cancer, groundbreaking discovery in the battle against these pandemics, groundbreaking discovery in the treatment of multiple sclerosis, so some other debilitating disease that really, really we've been struggling for a long time to find a solution for. So thankfully, we look out for and we hear these announcements on a regular basis from the large pharmaceutical companies who spend millions and millions and probably billions doing their research. But you see in the news, groundbreaking research, yeah? So they've got something tested, something developed, something gone through all of its clinical trials, and it's going to be sent out to other people to use. So really, really good. So groundbreaking. Up to the minute. Well, up to the minute means as late as possible, up to the minute. So up to the minute news, yeah? So if you're looking and surfing the internet and you're looking for the latest information about your sports team that you support or the latest information on the trends or fashion, then you get the up to the minute news on the internet because all of the latest news is published there first. You don't have to wait for newspapers to be printed anymore. So all the information you get on these different sites is up to the minute. It's the most recent. It's the latest. Whether it's about the presidential elections, whether about the weather conditions or the weather for next week, or the situation in relation to jobs or the economy. It's up to the minute, the latest that you could possibly get. And then finally, of recent origin. Now, this is quite formal. When something is of recent origin, it means it hasn't been seen recently or it hasn't been used recently. For example, a game could be of recent origin. And one that comes to mind for me is the game Paddle. 6 months or 9 months ago, I had never heard of Paddle. And perhaps it has been around for a while, but now I hear lots and lots of people playing Paddle in places like Spain, in Italy, even in the Nordic countries. So it's a game of recent origin, a game that has been brought to the masses very recently. Perhaps before that, it was used and played in some areas, but not on a wide scale. So now it has been brought out to the masses, and we can refer to it as a game of recent origin, something that has just come about or just been created recently. Okay, so there we have our advanced English words in connection with new, different ways in which we can say something new. There's an old expression, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. They use it in weddings. So here we're talking about other ways to say something new. So here they are again. Latest, fresh, innovative, original, novel, pioneering, state-of-the-art, groundbreaking, up to the minute, and then finally of recent origin. So lots of nice ways and expressions and words. So see, can you use them? See, can you introduce them? If you have any problems, well, you know where I am. www.englishlessonvia.skype.com. Always happy to hear from you. Always delighted when you join me. So as always, this is Harry saying goodbye. Until next time.